Reddit r/stories. I cleaned CeeLo Green's condo, and I didn't know who he was. I'm 23 now, but this occurred when I was in 6th or 7th grade. I grew up with a migrant mom from Mexico and was cleaning houses with her as a kid on weekends and in summer in Atlanta, Georgia. The reason my mom was able to clean his condo was because she made a name for herself in Atlanta for cleaning houses. She has cleaned houses for two football players from Georgia Tech, from higher ups of the Braves. We always got free tickets to the Braves games because the lady whose house we'd clean, lawyers, ministers, etc. My mom, making a name for herself, she ended up being recommended to CeeLo Green's sister, which she loved how my mom left her house and recommended it to CeeLo Green. Now, before many of you tell me, how did I not recognize him? I was young, but I knew of his voice, and it was around the time his song, Fuck You, came out. I do remember my mom telling me he was famous because his sister told her about his fame at the time. Me being born in Georgia, every time we'd clean houses, I would always put the hip hop rap radio station on, which, if you're from Georgia, you'll remember is 95.5, The Beat. His songs would play a lot, and at that time, my baby brother was about 2, and he'd sing that song so much, obviously the radio version. So, before you ask, how did I not know who he was? But my mom did. Her English wasn't good, and as it is today, she understood he was famous, but she didn't know he was the one who sang the "Fuck You" song. I had no prior knowledge to who he was before the "Fuck You" song came out. And thinking of it, it was before he released a music video for that song. I'll get to that later. My mom had cleaned his condo once, and it was the second time she went, which was when she took me with her. As we arrived to his condo, we were greeted by CeeLo, who told us what we were cleaning and such. CeeLo Green's face the whole time was as if he was like, "What the fuck? Kid, did you not know who I am?" I really didn't know who he was, especially not having prior knowledge of him or his songs. It's funny thinking of it now, but my mom told me to ask him for a trash bag, and he happened to be in the kitchen. The stare he gave me was like he was shocked or stunned. I didn't know who he was. I was talking. I didn't know who I was talking to. Every time I'd cross paths, it was always the stare. It was awkward, but thinking of it, it is hilarious. Being a middle schooler and being told it was someone famous but didn't know who he was, I guess I shrugged it off as if he was just another person whose house we were cleaning. I knew of many artists at the time, but his style was more R&B and wasn't my thing. As we got done cleaning the majority of his condo, his room was the last thing to clean. He wanted us to clean it last because he wanted to pick up a few things from his room. Not that it was dirty. He had many important papers, jewelry, such laid out. CeeLo had a photograph of him and Snoop Dogg, and that's when it started to hit me. He was up there. but I still didn't get a clue of who he was. Finishing up his room, he happened to go to his bathroom. He wasn't being a weirdo. In fact, we didn't even clean his bathroom because he said so. Just so happens he has two safes in there, one with money and the other has his jewelry. As he was preparing to pay us, he asked if I cleaned houses with my mom all the time, what kind of music I liked. Nothing weird in particular, just kept the conversation going. I remember he couldn't stop grinning because I was clueless, and so was my mom, but thankfully he kept hiring my mom. If not him, his sisters always hired my mom. In fact, till this day, she is friends with her on Facebook and always tells my mom she misses her. Because my mom moved to a different state. Recently went to Georgia and my mom posted some pictures and CeeLo's sister commented on them. To get back in the story where I mentioned hearing his song before his music video dropped, it was roughly a month after we cleaned it that that's when I saw it, and my mom and yelled at my mom at the top of my lungs to come see the music video. That's when all the excitement and what the fuck moment hit us. We cleaned CeeLo Green's condo.